Before summer ends, ask yourself this. Are you filling your calendar or fueling your soul? It's the summer of saying no, where boundaries, balance, and bold choices are a good thing.
Yeah, we're going to get into that today on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast.
And now your host, Jen O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Well, hey, friends, welcome back to the WBNL Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where we help you align, connect, and prosper through all the seasons of life and business. You can find all the show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. This is episode 376. I'm Matt Emerson.
And I'm Jen O'Brien. And today we are pulling up a chair for some real talk as summer starts to wind down already. Can you believe it?
I know. And you know that feeling you kind of get when you look at your calendar and you realize that the season has flown by? Because as of the recording of this, it's August 1st. I don't know how that happened. But somehow you also feel like you're more exhausted than energized.
And if you're like me nodding along as Matt says that, this episode's just for you, because what if the most powerful move you could make right now isn't adding something new, but actually subtracting it?
That's right. So we're going to be diving into how this summer winds down and how we're going to learn how to say no. We're going to talk about boundaries, balance, and bold choices to finish the season feeling clear, grounded, and a little more you.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we've talked about this before on the podcast. Saying no, it really does sound simple, but for most of us, it's anything but simple.
Correct.
We're wired to please, right? We're people pleasers at heart, many of us, to show up, to do things. And in a season like summer, when everything feels like an opportunity, we can really end up being burned out, stretched thin. So saying yes feels like the path of least resistance, right, Matt?
Always.
You might also be dealing with, if you say no to something, you have that FOMO, fear of missing out. You don't want to let someone down. You don't want to look selfish. And if you ever thought, you know what, it's just easier, I'll just do it, I'll say yes, you're not alone. But honestly, here's the truth. Every yes you give to someone else is a no to something else.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Usually.
Often it's your own peace, maybe just rest and priorities for you. That's what we're talking about, right? And I really have done a lot of this in my life. And I am okay with saying no now. And it doesn't have to be a rejection. It's really a personal development thing, to be honest. You have to get to a place where, for me, it was, I don't want to hurt somebody's feeling. I want to not say no to this invitation, to this thing that I really don't want to go to. And it's all those things I just talked about. But if there's something else that you really wanted to go do, that's not being selfish. And if you say no, it's really going to be okay. It's just realigning with what's important to you. It's remembering that, we only have time is very finite, and you should get to choose how to spend it. Would you agree with that? Like, have you been just say yes to everything, or are you better at putting in the occasional no?
I think I used to always be, I'll do everything in the world, right? But I learned that a while back. It's funny. I asked somebody, I proposed something to someone just last month, and it was just a text, and it was like ghosted for a day. And I thought to myself, she doesn't want to say no. She doesn't want to say no. She can say no. I would not care if she said no. It doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. And then finally, it was a day after that. So it was a whole day went by, and there was a big old long text, and all the reasons why, and how apologetic, and blah, blah, blah. And I wrote back simply, just really simply, the saying no to something is the most empowering thing that you can do. I appreciate that you said no and didn't do it because you just felt like you had to do it. So thank you for saying no. Don't worry about it. I mean, I literally I actually went back in and gave a little bit of a coaching thing. It's like, you know what? Never. Awesome. Because also I had to wait around for 36 hours to hear the no. I could have easily just heard the no and moved on. You know what I mean?
Wow. See, that's powerful.
I'm just saying. I mean, it really is. It's liberating, right? In a big way.
Open, honest communication is what we're talking about here. It's okay.
It is very liberating, and there's really, honestly, Really, nothing better than a no list. Got to have your no list.
Okay.
Because we talk around about clarity here on this podcast in WBNL all the time. Clarity is our buzzword, right? And one of the fastest ways to get there is to define what you're not available for anymore. That is a big part of what clarity can be. You have to really figure out what your boundaries are. And as summer winds down, I recently I didn't sit down and jot it down in a notebook, or I didn't journal about it or anything, but I was really thinking about, a few things that I'm just kind of done with, right? That I just need to get off of my plate because there are things I don't need to be doing anymore. Just for the rest of the season, here are some of the things that I was thinking about. It's like, you want to play in the summertime and you want to go. But when you go, you're not resting, and you feel like we started the show. You feel a little bit exhausted. So we're saying now no to more overbooked weekends, right? You only have so many hours in a day. You don't need to be running around all the time. So, and maybe you do want to do that, and that's fine because that works into your schedule. I need a little bit more of be a little more calmer, right? Mm-hmm. I try so hard to not be on that phone all the time. And we did a whole detox earlier in the year, and I was being so good about it. But we're humans, and those things tend to creep back on into your life, right? So I'm trying to, for the rest of the summer, just put a little time frame to it, not to do that scrolling before I go to bed, to have the phone in the other room. Matter of fact, yesterday, Jan was communicating or trying to communicate with me, and I had my phone plugged in the other room, and I missed like 2 calls and a text, which is not good. But at the same time, it's kind of nice to be away from your phone for a little bit. Yeah. Not to have work bleed into your sacred personal time. That is really, really important. If you can help it, when you work from home and if you are doing have your own gig that you're doing, they often become very much just intertwined, right? But sometimes you have to separate those two. And, you have to say no to the kind of shoulds that get stuck. Right. And they suck the joy right out of your life. Like, I should do that, and I should do that, and I should do that, but you don't really have to do any of it. Well, get those out of your daily
Stop shitting on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really like that. I've never heard that before.
You've heard that? Stop shitting on yourself.
Anyway, it's like clearing out your mental garage. That's the way I would kind of look at it, which, by the way, cleaning our garage was one of the things I was going to do this summer, which I haven't done. So maybe I can get out there.
You can go on the Sunday maybe list.
But the thing about this is when you start really identifying what the no's are going to be, it really allows you more space to have more yeses come into your like yes to that early morning walk that you say you're going to do, but you don't always do, right? Yes to sitting outside with a cold drink and no agenda, or, just some quiet time. You can say yes to those things because you have that time back. Yes to projects that light you up and don't drain you. So that's a huge one. So, I used to think about boundaries kind of being walls, right? Because that's just the definition in a lot of ways. But actually, it's the gate to your own peace. That's what a boundary really is. The no list isn't about negativity. And Jan mentioned that too. It's not about being in a negative space. It's about prioritizing your sanity and protecting your season.
And honestly, the way you handled that with your text and the friend was really a powerful example, because you're kind of, by showing how you came back with that, or, you kind of showed that person how they could say no. Right. So let's talk about some other ways that you can handle this, because I know that's what's coming up for a lot of people. It's like, I don't know, really, I don't want how to do it without feeling selfish or hurting somebody's feeling. Right. So it doesn't have to come with all that guilt and over explaining. You don't need a 10-point apology deal here, which is basically what you got. It was like, this is what we've done, and I've been there. I had this happen, and you're almost doing the little white lie thing of like stretching why I'm not able to go do this commitment with you, or this invitation, or say yes to it. Not, I don't really want to do it. So maybe there's some better ways to say it. So here's some grace, maybe some ways to say it with a little bit more grace and a little bit more, it's people, you can't worry about how the person's going to take it. That's up to them. Okay. Yeah, so I appreciate the invite this time. I'm going to have to pass, and just leave it at that. Yeah. You don't have to say, because I have 10 things I have to do. No. Right. Now this one's a little bold, but maybe there's a better way to say it. that doesn't really align with my priorities right now, but thank you for thinking of me. I probably would soften that a little bit of, I have some other, I might say that, I have some other things that are important to me that I just are not going to be able to make this, but thanks for thinking of me, maybe next time. Right. I like this. Hey, Matt, I'm already at capacity. I hope you can understand. I wouldn't be able to give it the energy that it deserves. Some variation of that is, to me, the one where you're really basically saying,
especially if it's a business related.
I'm not feeling it, right? I just don't want to do it. And if you don't come in with the idea that the person is immediately going to go there. And if they do, that's them, not you. You've just been honest. It's better to be maybe open and honest about, I like that. I really don't have the capacity, sorry, I'm just really exhausted. I wouldn't be able to really be there with you and be with you for this. Let's reschedule, or let's do it at another time, right? Yeah. You don't have to have permission for boundaries. It's just you are establishing them. They just require practice. You're used to saying yes and giving all the reasons, or taking 36 hours to say no with a list of reasons so you can soften what you think is the blow. And then you have somebody like Matt come back and go, wow, I appreciate that. Saying no is empowering. It's like you wanted to say, next time, just tell me that right away, is what you really want to say, right?
I'm hoping that was the message.
The people you really value that are really your friends, don't you think they'll respect your no? I think they will, or perhaps it's not really as deep as a friendship as you're thinking. And the ones that push back, all right, well, that's giving you some valuable information too, and a way to evaluate, right? So give it a try, say no with grace.
I totally agree with all of what you just said there. And it's really interesting because I think the more that you try to kind of excuse your way out of things, you just get tied up into a knot. It's like, whoa, now what? We have some really good friends that we do think, I've been friends for over 40 years with these people, and they do a lot of barbecues and stuff at their house. And they're always like, next barbecue's on the 4th of July. You're going to be there? No, we can't make it. Oh, Matthew, come on. Of course you can be here. I'll make you breakfast if you spend the night. It's a little joke that they have, right?
Yeah.
And finally, we just got to the point where there's sometimes we just don't go. And I used to always do the whole, well, we got this and that and blah, 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 blah. And now I'm just like, we're not going to be there. We'll be there on Labor Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
It just doesn't align with my priorities. Probably wouldn't fly, but we just can't do it this time. We've got
but it's become easier, and it's one of those things. If you just don't make it so hard, it's really not that hard. It is. I don't know why being honest is a harder path. It certainly shouldn't be. It's very weird. I don't get it.
It's that guilt and that hurting somebody's feelings and making it about how you think you're going to feel, but by letting that person down, it's really about that.
Yeah.
It was for me anyway.
No, it totally is. I guess the whole point is that the shift here is that no isn't the end. It makes room for more yeses, and that's really what we've been talking about. That's what.
Yeah, or you're choosing the best yes for you, which that's again the issue. It's like, oh, they're going to think that I don't really care about them. Whatever. That's your story, and it's really time to reel back in and take priority. You can find the time to do things with other people, and you don't have to say yes to everything, right? So. No. Think of this as your seasonal reset. What are the 3 things you want to say yes to before summer ends? Like, you don't have to have like everything that was on the list, but if you were to really think about that, what are the 3 things? Well, I'm doing one of them, and I have been planning it, and it's coming up in a few days as we record this. I'm doing my little personal sabbatical, which I like to do at least once a year, to Sedona. It's just me. It's not about having somebody go with. I go to Sedona with friends at other times. This is very intentional, and it's for me, and it's one of those things that will definitely be a reset for me. What about you?
Absolutely, Jan O'Brien. And I think that I like that you said that you've been planning this, and I don't know, maybe over planning this.
Maybe. Based on what I told you today, I probably am.
Well, really, it could be anything, right? It could be, maybe it's, spending more quality time with your partner. Maybe it's finishing a book and actually answering your question. That is my thing. This was going to be the summer of reading.
Okay.
Well, I got one book done, so at least I didn't fail completely in it, but I started the other book and I haven't finished it. So we have X amount of weeks left until, officially summer is over. I'm going to finish that other book. That's just going to be my thing. And if I have to set aside a little bit of time every day, I'm going to do that. I found myself in the evenings not being able to read because it's like one page and I'm out.
Exactly. Way to put it.
So that doesn't work. Got to make different times. So maybe it's just resting. And how about this? Maybe it's just finding more joy in your life.
Wow. Look.
Yeah.
Find your joy.
Well, there you go.
There it is. Find your joy, whatever that is for you. So whatever it is, don't let it slip away in the noise of the perceived obligation that you have to keep everybody happy and make all these commitments.
Yeah, because remember, your summer story doesn't have to end in burnout, which would be a very sad thing for you. So don't let that happen. Let it end in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So friends, what are you going to say no to this week? I would love to hear what those things might be. So drop them, in the show notes, or drop them as a comment on YouTube. It would just be interesting to see what your no's are going to be in the coming up.
Well, it's interesting as I think back about what we just said. I don't think we came across as just be selfish. That's not what at all. We were literally right. It was about, it's okay to say no. And I think you got the point of that, right? So we really want to say thanks for hanging out and listening all the way through today. And, share the episode. If this gave you something to think about, maybe you're on the journey of, I say yes to everything. And maybe it gave you a couple pointers on how to handle that. But share it with someone else who might need to know it. And we'd love to get your feedback on where you're at with all of this as well. And you're finding your way to be balanced, bold, and setting those boundaries.
That's right. And, when you're doing all that, don't forget to subscribe, rate, leave us a review. You find all the show notes and links over at WBNLpodcast.com. This has been episode 376. Do want to mention before we leave, if you do, carve out a little extra time as the summer is ending up, we do have our Clarity series. We have 2 of our modules that have dropped already. We have Rooted in the Unknown that has dropped, and we have Aligned in the Everyday. Both those are out there. It's a great way to get in and kind of calm yourself down, get yourself centered again, get yourself refocused on what you want to be doing. And then coming up at the end of this month, because it is August now, end of this month, we'll be dropping the 3rd part of this series called Ignited with Purpose, and that's going to be a fantastic little summation of what this course is all about. So you have the investigation, you have the kind of centering and grounding, and then we have the kind of go forward piece for you here coming up very soon. Price of the course right now is $33. If you get in, you get all 3 modules for $33. If you wait till module 3 drops, the price goes up to $44. So go over to WBNLcoaching.com or wanderingbutnotlost.com. Go to our courses tab, and you can get started on that course today. And until next time, stay aligned, stay curious, and say no like you mean it.